Welcome to the online training class for Trimble's EC-CAD sheet metal. Today we're going to explore the setup of Part Manager. The setup of Part Manager has really been made a lot easier with the download to FabShop. Really all we're mapping is names in a lot of situations and letting FabShop's setup take care of the notching allowances that we had to set up before in Part Manager. So we're going to go through some of these by just going up here to the configuration or to the gear in the upper right hand corner. As this opens, we're going to come down here and we're going to go into our allowances. In our allowances here, you're going to see we have metal. This is going to be for our metal names. So all this is a name of the type of material you want to use, and just like any other portion in Part Manager, to add to this, you just drag the icon over and drop it down, and then with the edit button, you can rename this to whatever you want to name it. So we can just say we want to rename, and now that's going to be that name. Same thing for our lining options. We have here our different acoustical linings. We want to just put in the name of it and then the thickness of it. That's all we need. When we come to gauges, all we need to do is list our gauges, and I've listed everything for my galvanized, my perforated, my aluminum gauges, so you'll need to list these out. You can set up saddles, and what we need to know on the saddle is the name and then the length of the border. So how far does it go around the tap that the saddle is on. Stiffeners and tie rod are not needed. They're picked up in FabShop. So we just send a toggle to say reinforce true, and it will pick up the reinforcing based on FabShop setup. Here we have rectangular connectors. Here we still have a little bit of setup on this. We're going to need to know the height, so how much metal is being consumed by the connector. The flange extension, so we can show it graphically in the CAD correctly. The flange thickness, the same as the flange extension. The gap, so we'll be when we're putting the duct together, it's going to put the correct amount of gap for gaskets. If you have minimum straight needed for a connector, you have to put the minimum straight in, and then we have the add value that works in conjunction with the height. So those still need to be set up somewhat. But that's only for the drawing in CAD. FabShop will control the notching. Same thing on round and oval. We need to set the names up, the height, the flange extension, flange thickness, the gap, the duct inner liner adjustment if we're going to be using double wall, and the size, whether it's normal or undersized. When we come down to the seams, these are nothing more than names. They're going to be mapped to FabShop, and FabShop will pick up all the other information. We have the rectangular joints that we're going to have as the name. This will be a joint in the duct itself. And the round and oval joints, which like how are you putting your gourd elbow together, that type thing. We have down here our different types of turning vanes. Again, these are just names now. So you've got your round and oval turning vanes, your rectangular turning vanes, and your rectangular radius vanes. And that's really the setup we need to set up our allowances, is just giving it some names and a few entries on the connectors, and that's the setup inside Part Manager.
We hope you enjoyed this video. See what's next in our product tips playlist, or visit mep.trimble.com for even more product resources.